My favorite dish as a dessert is a floating island. You can travel with time, you can travel with people, with flavors. It's a question of what you want to do with it. Could be anything, endless. That's what maybe is the beauty of having a floating island. So this dish is very important for me because it just reminds me of my childhood. Grandma, she used to love to do it, and gosh, it was good. And we had it on the à la carte, on the menu at the Waterside Inn for quite a few years. And I still love to do it for myself at home. If I would say how to do a perfect floating island, of course, it's the eggs. You've got to use good eggs, fresh eggs, and you will have a nice yellowy, orangey custard with the yolks. And of course, the milk, you need a good milk, I would say a full cream, and that will give you a beautiful custard. The custard for that dish is normally the sauce which is served with it. Now, that sauce can be flavored with many different things. It could be an alcohol, it could be a different herb, but vanilla. Vanilla is certainly my favorite. And the story with vanilla in the family is that actually, years ago, my grandma, you knew when she was preparing that dish because you could count the vanilla seeds. More vanilla seeds, more important the occasion and the people at the table were. So the floating island can be done two ways, just one little portion per person or large. At home, I like to do it large. And you just scoop and take what you want. And we do fight a bit at the table. When you poached your meringue, your floating island in milk, it can't boil. It should be just about simmering, and you flip it over. So on both sides, I would say the cooking time will be about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on your size of your floating island. The garnishes for the floating island, I chose a pink praline. You can chop them in 2 or more, but I think in 2 is nice because you have a little crunch. Pink praline can be placed on top and around. Otherwise, if you use dates, you just halve them, remove the seed inside. If you want to, you can chop and dice some dates to either put in the middle, or you can be more generous and just fold it in your meringue and your egg white before molding it and filling up your dish. Of course, with the caramel. I like it caramel flavor. I don't want it to be more on the burnt flavor. So I don't go too far, but I like to have a nice brown color to it. Working at the Waterside Inn, well, I started in 1992, and I was lucky to work with Dad for a few years until he passed away. We did 10 years side by side. My first 10 years at the Waterside Inn, he was in the kitchen. I was a young chef at that time. I started at the bottom of the ladder. And gosh, I felt it. And my dad tried to push me away from it. He thought, I was crazy. I was having a moment, but no. That was it. I just knew I had the love of food and working in a restaurant. I've learned so much from him, and that's why I want to keep a lot of what he's done. I think it's important, the legacy, not only of the place, of the house, of the Waterside Inn, but in the cooking. Desserts are important. It's the end of the meal. You want to have a good meal and finish on a high note. So I put a lot of heart into it. And I started as a pastry chef, like we did it all in the family. My uncle, my dad followed, my cousin followed, starting a pastry apprenticeship, and I did the same thing. And gosh, we all have a sweet tooth. No regrets.